Welcome, everyone. Hey, Sean. I saw you commented earlier. Wait, oops. Hi, there I go. Ugh. So let me get over here. Comments again. Let me know that I've got everything sound-wise good. Yeah, my phone looks good. I'm muted on my iPad. So just let me know. Thumbs up. Everything's good. Okay, because I see you're watching on YouTube and maybe some people pop in on Facebook. But either way, let me know. Good, not good, should be good. I see eyeballs popping on, so say hello. Hey Deb. So I'm assuming everything's good. Hey Sue. Sweet. All right. So if you don't know me, I am Toni Tesler. ToniStamps, that's me. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Hey Penny. And I like to make a bunch of different stuff. So, not just cards. I like to do tags, little books, scrapbook, anything with pictures. I love to make boxes, notepads. I'm a fan of that, altered stuff. So, hit or miss what I'm going to show each night. But tonight we're going to play with some memories and more cards. So, I just have a couple of announcements, reminders, and then we'll get into it. And then I'm going to do a couple more at the end because I've got like a full note card here. So, all right, first, colors. Remember, color change is coming next week, the 29th, in fact. That's when we're going to get the announcement from Stampin' Up! Some old colors are coming back. Some current colors are leaving. In colors are changing out. So, they do this every 5 or so years. And I'm just hoping that the colors that I'm not really that fond of are the ones that will go away. So we'll see. So that'll be Wednesday. Another reminder, my virtual stamp club. So if you are interested in learning to make this little thing, actually, let's just go down here so I can show you. Solo layout. So this measures 9.5 by 3.25. And this is, you're going to use your own materials, but we're going to do it on Zoom. And then it pulls out and you can put, less pictures if you want, more sentiments or writing or something. But that's going to happen Monday on Zoom. If you're interested, I need you to email me at ToniStamps@yahoo.com. All right. Actually, let me see if I have nope, I don't have a banner for that. So, okay. ToniStamps, I should write it down. How about that? Because sometimes I don't catch all the messages. And if you say, hey, I'm interested, like I don't know what you're really talking about. Let me get, this Sharpie is stuck. Okay, let's go with this one. So by Saturday, Toni, STAMPS at yahoo.com. All right. So email me. That's going to have a $20 fee. You can be anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter because we're going to be zooming it together. 7 o'clock Eastern time, PM on Monday. All right. And I need to know by Saturday because you have to get your materials ready. So, all right. Another announcement. Oh, Cactus Cuties class. So I just posted the other day my announcements for Cactus Cuties class, and I want to show you just 2 cards. I'm sneak peeking for you because I want to be clear that you have color choices for some of these cards. Okay. So this is the one I made polished pink, and I'm just pulling from my stash over here. So this is one card. So you'll get all the materials pre-cut, and you will be stamping and cutting all of your cactuses for this class, which this cactus set is still on the clearance rack. This was from last spring, summer, whatever, spring mini catalog. The punch is no longer available, but you don't need that punch at all. So stamping and hand cutting all of these cactuses. You should be able to use a different cactus set if you really want to. But these are so cute. So my point is with sharing these 2 cards, if you don't want pink, you don't use pink because you're going to get a sheet of white paper and you're going to stamp whatever color you want and then cut these out, okay? And if you don't want to do the fussy cutting, don't do the fussy cutting. You're still going to chop this out of the same piece of white paper, so you'll be able to, cut it straight. If you want to run it through with a die you have, choices. You have them. All right, so that is the pink card. Now let me show you the other one I thought people might be leery of, which I don't know why, is the black and white and gray. So again, if you want to have more traditional color plants here, you're going to get this gray granite base and the embossed pieces, everything's cut. But if you want to make these green plants, then make them green, okay? And then notice this, it's a little bit snug. I've got magnet enclosures and I'm including those, all right? So you're going to get 2 little magnets just for this card. And I like it. So if you wanted to stamp these green, yellow, purple, whatever, you don't have to go with gray if you don't want to. So I need the Google sign up sheet. There's a link to that. That's all on my blog. And let me put these somewhere safe-ish. So I need that by next Friday. I close signouts because I have a feeling, well, we all know the papers, the designer papers they're not going to continue for the next catalog. And those delicate desert papers are from the mini. I've also got, you're going to get included a pack of the gold sequins. Okay. So I need to, once that retirement list comes out on April 1st, I think things may start running out of stock. And I have to have my order placed by the 31st, just so I make sure I get everybody's stuff. Hey, Di. So, Virtual Stamp Club, Colors, Cactus Cuties. Okay, we'll go over all the other ones at the end. So tonight, we're doing, I'm doing a couple projects with these Memory and More, Texture Chic Memories and More cards. So there is a card pack, and it comes with all these pre-printed cards, 3x4s and 4x6s, and then there's some embellishment little things in here. All right, little stickers of things that go, and they, say things, happy, love, things that you could use either in card making or little journal making. All right, so we're going to use these cards. We're also going to be using the cards that go with it. I'm a sucker for these things, these Memories and More cards, and then they pile up. So I have to have a plan, and I'm going to be using them like more. But you're going to want these Texture Chic Memories and More cards. These are all the same size. So the ones in the regular catalog are, I think, all white, and they're 2 different sizes. They're the smaller size to fit the 3x4 cards, and then they're this size. This pack is all the larger size, and that's going to come in handy. I do think if you want these, you might want to wait till April 1st because they seem to always go on sale. Like, they never run out of these things. So even though they're only like $10 or $12 for each thing, like, they always seem to go on sale. So why not save a couple dollars, right? All the cards in here are the same. So they're pre-printed with this, nice like wood and then like spritzy thing. So it goes with anything. And then the gold. So yeah, I like this suite. I haven't done much with it. This goes with the Season of Chic bundle, which I did not pull out my dies. I may use some of the greetings here, but tonight I'm focused on these cards and what we can make with that. So we're going to do a couple of really easy ones. So let's just start that. We're going to start with really easy ones, just using the cards that come in the pack and then our card bases. And then we're going to go to some other ones, and then we're going to make a little book, a little mini album at the end with 3 of these envelopes. All right, let me check time. 8:09. Okay, sweet. All right, I also pulled a bunch of different embellishments just because I don't know what I may want to use. I've got some of these gems, elegant faceted gems, champagne rhinestones, flowers, butterflies. So we shall see. So let's see. I pulled, now there's cards for all the seasons. All right. And I'm just going to get rid of this plastic because I ripped it so bad. It's not going to hold anything together anyway. Ooh, and look at this. it comes with this piece of chipboard. I save all this stuff because you never know when you're going to want to make a mini book, and this comes in handy. Hey, Rose. Hey, Marilyn. So I have got, where's my pile? These are the ones I'm going to work at first. All right. So I'm going to get 2 cards and 2 envelopes. And like I said, we're just going to do the cards and little embellishment, pop some stuff up. So I want the beginner stampers to know that, you know, you can make stuff just with these cards. Then if you want to doll it up, step it up a notch or 2, like that's up to you. But we can still make cute stuff. So let's take our pre-printed card. And I pulled a couple of sets. So what did I want to do with this one? I have no idea. So this one, I like the congratulations. I like as like, could be a wedding, could be an anniversary, a baby shower. But I wanted that. Oh, I know why. All I want is to pop this up right on here and then add some flowers, butterflies, something. So we're going to add some foam. And look at that. Like the back is exactly the same print. Funny. And notice I'm not doing any layering in this one. I really am just going to use the cards. So Sue did something with these. Oh, God, how long ago was that? Like a couple months. And I completely forgot what cards you made. So I'm going to have to go back and look at that. But you did a lot more dolling up of the things than I am doing right now. But I think it just takes, you know, a little embellishment. If you didn't like the greeting on this card, we could stamp another one, but I really want to use just the cards, at least for these 2. Quick, easy. We could make a whole pack of these. They usually have these at the holiday, in the holiday catalog too, where like Christmas cards, Christmas sets. Those make for very quick and easy Christmas cards. Like you could get 20 cards done. So that's something I do always look forward to. All right, now I'm trying to get that in the middle. So if you wanted to corner around these or do any kind of fancy corner punching, that's fine. Go for it, right? Let's do, I want to add a little bit of butterflies. These flowers are kind of chunky. Let's just do the butterflies because we do have 2 different sizes. Then if you wanted to stamp a butterfly later, punch it out, go for it. But this is just going to be a sweet little, you know, gold butterfly. Oh, that flew right up. And then we'll do another big one down here. And I know that's not very impressive for like not a, hey Tracy. Hey, Karen. Hey, Sean. So pretty easy, but just straight out of the card pack. So envelope, add a card, pop it up, add some doodads. I mean, I'm totally going to send this out to someone. So, and then we've got our envelope. Now, these are pre-printed. They're all the same pattern on the inside, okay? So this pattern is not necessarily going to match every card you make, but it's okay, right? It's all good. All right, so that is my first. And I like that these are 4x6 because that gives you a lot of room to write with. All right, so there's one. Then we'll do another quick one. Now this time I'm going to add a card for the background. So these 4x6 cards, obviously there's 2 sides to them, but I like this. So this has more of the leaves in it. So these are sized 4x6. The cards are 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So we get that border on all these cards. And I mean, this is so generic. It's going to go with everything. So we're just going to glue this down. Oh man, my pen was stuck in here. Okay. Yeah, I always end up buying these cards, and then for some reason or another, like, I just don't put them high enough on my list, and then here I am at the last minute. because these don't usually carry over because they have another set that'll come in. But I always like them. And I have so many of these things. I mean, ideally they're for pocket scrapbooking, like the, what was it? Ugh. What was it called when they have the little plastic sheets and you just tuck these things in? Somebody, a lady's name. I can't remember. Ugh, but that was the original. All right, so this just says it's the little things. And look at that. That's the same pattern. Funny. So I want to pop this up. Hey, Gail. Hey, Barbara. What were those? It was a lady's name. I can picture her face. I want to say something with an A. Gail, who did those? The Memories of More cards. It used to be called something else. Not Heidi Swap. It was something, Becky Higgins. That's it. And I think she still has her line of stuff, which is very popular. So yeah, these intended for pocket scrapbooking, but of course we're going to find a whole bunch of other ways to use them. All right, so this one, I just want to angle this because I like things not always straight. Nice. And I think I'm going to add some of these, some of the flowers this time. Even though, well, this is leaves. I should rethink that. Let's go with Elegant Faceted Gems. So the colors in here, this is Petal Pink, Soft Succulent, Mango Melody, Evening Evergreen. Same colors that are in the Texture Suite. Or the Season of Chic Suite, whatever we call that. All right, so let's use some of these Petal Pink ones. Now, these embellishments in particular carried over from the last catalog. I have no expectations that they will make it another catalog. I've gone through like 3 packs of these things, and I really like them. They came in Petal Pink. This is like a white, and then there was clear, and I used those all up. But I really like them. So there's another simple enough card, but, you know, just using the cards that we have. I really can't remember what I was going to do with that. It's not on the list. So it doesn't exist. All right, so we've got 2 that are super easy. Then let's do some that require a little bit more work, a little bit more adding. All right, so I've got this pile. This one. Okay. So I'm going to start with my card base, same card base that they are. Then I took 2 of the cards. So this one with the shells, and that's got like a, you know, just a background. This one, Good Times with You. I didn't really care about these words. So yeah, Di, not on the list. That's crazy. Ugh. I didn't really care. Oh, something. Did you all hear that? Something just crashed from my side table. I must have moved around too much. I didn't really care about these words. I'm going to cover them up. What I did was cut 2 layers for these. I ran this through the embossing folder with the dots folder. This is one of those that's the basics folder. And I did that because of these dots over here, because I thought, let's tie it in, right? So these are 3x4. So I cut these layers 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So we're just going to glue these on. Gail, who are you talking to? You thought the boys would be driving us crazy? Because not me. I shut my door. Nobody drives me crazy but me. And sometimes it's a shorter drive than others. All right, so we're gluing these on. A white layer and a petal pink layer. And then I am actually going to stamp a greeting. So I want these like angled. I just want these dots showing up. So I get the pattern and the embossed bit. Like the pattern from the the card itself. There's some kind of like darker bits on here. And then we're going to do that. And if you don't want yours like at an angle, I mean, you could figure something else out. But I just wanted to use 2 of the cards. And I'm going to pop that one up. I'm going to have to pull like so much stuff out because I can't believe that crashed. That was a whole bunch of stuff. Ugh. But that's what I get for just stacking my stuff up next to me. I have so many cards and things that I've made, and I need a better organization system for like finished projects, you know? The stuff that I haven't given away or used. I do have, I think, 4 boxes of that I keep my cards in from those, like those photo storage boxes that you get at Michael's. So that's how I keep finished cards. But my problem is, like, I get a big stack. I have to actually file them because I've got dividers and categories. That's always a project for another day. But I tell you, it's going to be tomorrow's project with this, what I just knocked over. All right, so I'm going to angle that. All right, now I've got a scrap of petal pink and white. So I think I'm going to stamp this in white. Actually, let's use this little bit and then back it with some petal pink, because this right here, it doesn't, it's too white with that. And if I used just petal pink, it would be too matchy with this. So I need both of them. All right. So let's get from this, and I'm going to stamp in, I think Evening Evergreen, because I really want that to show up. Ooh, look at that. That thanks is going to fit. All right. Perfect. Oh, and at the end, I will show you what I worked on last weekend with one of my friends. Oh. We were doing some of those one-sheet wonder things. Oopsie, too big, too small. Where you stamp like a whole sheet. Oh, a whole sheet of like 8 by 10.5 or something paper, and then chop it up into 4 cards. Really had a lot of success with that. So, and I haven't gotten to post those to my blog yet, so I will show you those at the end. Oof, look at all that ink on there. Ugh. All right, I'm going to put this in the corner because I want to trim that down. That's a very large piece. And I did not wipe down or wet down my chamois. Oh yeah, dollar store bins, Penny. For what? Storing your cards or your finished stuff? Actually, I'm going to get my trimmer out for this because I do want this to be kind of straight-ish. Yeah, I've got all sorts of bins, buckets, things to keep me organized. And then yet still doesn't happen. All right, let's do a little bit of glue on this. And I'm just going to trim this out like I'm not ripping the edge like I normally like to do. I'm just going to trim it straight so it kind of goes with the other pieces. Matches. All right, let's trim this and just eyeballing. Oh yeah, that's close. Close enough. So yeah, next week will be the big week with the color announcements. Ooh, I like this. All right, and I'm going to need some foam under there. I feel like this would be a good place to have a die-cut seashell or something. But I didn't do any of those. Oh, you know what? I should have looked at I meant to look at the stuff that came in the embellishments. I want this up a little. All right. The reason I want to do this, I want some of this peeking out. And I want this flat with that, or parallel, whatever. All right, cool. And then did I put, nope, I need some glue right under there. Let's go to those, see if there's any shells in here. I know it's mostly like words. All right, leaves, a thank you. I like you. No shells. I'm not seeing any shells. I really would have liked that. One little one right there. Nope. All right, so poo-poo on that. I still want to add some embellishment though, and I want some blingy bling. So we're either going to use these gold rhinestones, iridescent pastel gems, or I think the champagne, because this is like a brown but neutral goldish. Let's use champagne, and I can use more of them. These, I like these iridescent pastel gems, but they are a bit chunkier. They remind me of the gilded gems, which I really like. They have they're pretty tall. So I'm not going to use those right this sec, but I am going to use a bunch of these champagne rhinestones. And these are in 3 different sizes. I really hope these still make it. I hope they continue having these because they're such a good neutral, I think. But plenty of sparkly bits. Now, if you wanted to go back and run a clear Winkostella over these seashells, could definitely do that. But I think, you know, nice enough. All right, let's do, and I want to make sure I put an envelope with all these because they're going to have to go right in my stash. I will tell you, when I store envelopes with cards, I think I've mentioned this before, but you might want to naturally just want to store it under the flap like that, like a lot of people do. But if your house, if you ever get humidity or if there's any dampness, this glue is going to activate and then it's going to be stuck to your card. And then this will be jacked up. So even if it goes against your grain, don't do that. Just keep this flat and then that one, add to the pile. All right. So the next one I cut a card base entirely. So I'm not using any of the card base. So I've got soft suede, my regular 5.5 by 8.5, score in half at 4 1/4. Oh, thanks, Di. Then I've got white for the inside, 4 by 5 1/4. So we'll go ahead and put that in. And I gotta check the time. Ooh, 8:30. Okay. And then, no more and then. Right, Jamie? Then I've got a piece of soft suede, again, 4 by 5 1/4, and I embossed this with the timber folder. So I'm just going to glue this down flat. And why do I use 2 different glues? Sometimes I like using this green Tombow one. It's got a lot more wiggle room time if I needed to move this layer around some. It is a lot stickier though. So like how it's squeezing out the side here, I'm going to have to like hit that with my embossing buddy or something. Use my rubber eraser. You know, that gum eraser thing. Not when it's wet though. It will just rip your paper. All right. Then I've got a card that I trimmed down. So this was the standard card out of the kit, Thinking of You. And this is flowers around here. So I think I trimmed this down, or maybe I added a layer. Nope, I didn't trim it down. So 3 by 4. This layer is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. Di, is Jamie on? She told me she was going to be, so I can't tell. I can only see eyeballs. StreamYard doesn't tell us who's on until you comment, and then it'll show your name. All right, so I'm going to pop this up. And then I took another card, and this said sending good vibes. But I wanted just a little bit more of the flowers in here. And now that I look at it, I don't really care for it. I was hoping that that would look nice. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not going to wreck it. I'm just going to pop this up and add some of these flower gems here. These will tie in because they look more like this shape. I was going to say, oh, I can take a mango marker and color this in so it's not like white and soft suede, but no, that's a tragedy waiting to happen. All right, let's do some foam. And then we're going to add flowers. So in this case, you know, add some embossing. If you wanted to punch something out, punch something out. But the cards are a good base for things, for sure. And the fact that everything in the kit coordinates with each other as far as colors, like, that's good. Penny, now we can stalk. Yeah, it doesn't say who's watching, which is, you know, that's fine. Oh, all right, let's put this on. Oops. Sticky. Now this one I am going to try to get straight, so I just need to hold this up for a minute. And I did not add any extra glue, so where it lands is where it lands. All right, good enough. Now these, so these are the flower adhesive back trinkets. These are pretty heavy, and you can see mine have like moved it during shipment, shifted during shipment. There's 3 different colors. So the fact that they moved doesn't matter. It's just that they've slid off their spot here. So there's like silver, like a brassy kind, and then gold. And I don't know if any of those colors really show up, but I'm going to go for some of the brassy ones. And I'm just going to put these not in the flower centers. And I do like 3. But just look, they can hang out. Ooh, and I really don't like where that landed. That's a little too close to the edge, but I'll get over it. All right, let's put that one down. And one more. Okay. So I like it just adding, just using this as a focal point. And then build, you know, the rest of your card. Put these away. I'm trying to put these embellishments away after I know I'm not going to use them. All right, so that's that card. Let me look at... All right, I had another one, and then we'll get going with our little mini album, okay? So this one, I cut another layer. So I like this saying, everything beautiful starts with love. And I like these leaves, and it really ties in with the back of this card. Like it's the same pattern kind of. So I'm just going to glue this on. But this time I'm going to cut these leaves out of the cards. I think I need to get that pin down in my glue. I've probably had it open too long. Let me get these. Might be a little boogery. I tend to leave it open and just on its side when I'm working, and that seems to be okay. All right. So I took this card, and the back is kind of just, you know, brown and yellow, like not going to miss anything. I want to cut these leaves out. So just out of the corner. Actually, let me just cut this and then cut this. Because I am going to put this back in my like pile of cards, because that'll be a nice background I could stamp a greeting on or something. But then these, I'm just going to hand cut this corner bit. So yeah, next week, actually I can tell you some of this stuff while I'm cutting. Next week, I'm going to have to switch to Wednesday because our anniversary is Thursday. And Dave's probably going to want me to take him out or something. So, the nerve. No, I'm kidding. We usually go to, I found this Korean place a couple years ago. It's actually in a grocery store. It's like a food court, but it's a Korean market, maybe 10 miles or so from our house, like pretty close. But the first time I took him there, he was like, "You brought me to a grocery store for our anniversary?" I'm like, honey, somebody said it's really good. And turns out it was. So we've been going there every year since then. So during COVID, we had to go do pickup because they didn't have the inside open at all. But I mean, it's really just like a little food court. But then it's connected. You have to walk through the grocery store to get there. So you walk through the Korean grocery store, and then we can get some stuff that we like that neither one of us can actually cook because we never learned how from his mom. So that's what we'll probably do next Thursday. So I will be here Wednesday. And that's when we'll have those color announcements anyway, so we can talk about that. I think it's supposed to be posted on the demo stuff. I think I saw today 12 noon or something. How many years, Penny? We got married in 2022, so this will be 20, no, what did I say? 2002. So this will be 21 years married. But we lived together for 12 years. So it's really like 33 years time served, total time. All right. Now these, I just want to pop these up, and I think that's going to add a little something to them. So I want some dimensionals here. Yeah, sometimes it feels like time flies, and other times it doesn't. But it's all good. It's all good. All right, let's do those little. Yeah, March 30th. Can't believe been that long. All right, let's do that. And then we'll put this one over here. And I like this. So this is leaves on top of leaves. And I'm doing it right in the corner. Nice. And then I think I'm going to pop it up. Yeah, Penny. Total time served. Yeah, concurrent sentence. All right, let's do some of this. Yeah, I passed him when I was coming home. He was going out to take back the movie we watched last night. So we saw that A Man Called Otto. Yeah, Sean, I was a baby. No, I'm kidding. I was 21. I thought he was 21, but he was not. He was at least 18. I had to ask, though. I mean, I would take him to bars with me. He never even got questioned. And then his mom said something when I met her, and it made me think he wasn't old enough. I was like, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 18. I'm like, oh, my God. So then, of course, my friends were like, you're robbing the cradle. I'm like, well, I didn't know. It didn't occur to me to card him, But yeah, crazy. Forever. All right, so let's put this on. Ooh, I am really liking this. With the extra leaves popped up. Like, I think that just adds a little something more. Love that. All right, now what embellishments? I could go again with the champagne rhinestones. Or this one might be a job for the iridescent pastel gems because this is lumpy anyway. All right, so these are gold, balmy blue, calypso coral. And we're going to use some of the gold ones. Let's do one here, and one up there. We'll do little. I'm going to have to find something to use these balmy blue ones for, because those are like not my favorite color. Ooh, you know what? probably next week. So this past weekend when I was working on those one sheet wonder things, I finally used the sea turtle set that I got last month. You guys, I didn't realize how big that turtle is. Crazy. I mean, I know Gail's used it, but I just had no idea. Let me see. I had stamped and cut one out. Hold on a minute. And this isn't for next week. This was just me stamping. But look how big that is. Actually, let's get back. This is a regular size card. Look how big that turtle is. I had no idea. Crazy. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing next week. So yeah, this one, I like it, with just those leaves popped up and then add some bling. I mean, I could have gone maybe 2 more blings, but that's fine. I'm going to let that glue dry for now. So let's get to a little book. All right. So, you know, I like to make little mini albums, folios, journals, like whatever you want to call them. So for this is going to be something you can either put pictures in, you can add just journaling things, like write stuff in it. My intention is to find some pictures to put in it. Okay. So I'm just going to make the base of the book and not do a whole bunch of tarting up. But I am going to add another flap, and I'm going to add 2 pockets. So 20 minutes, we're going to get this. So we need one of the cards. This is actually going to be a pull out, like from it'll be in the book, and you can pull it out and doll up the front and then use both sides and the back even to put pictures or do some writing. All right. And so we'll do that. I need how many cards? I think 5. 1. This is going to be my cover. These are the days, because I figure that's pretty generic enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So 6 of the 4x6 cards. And is this in focus? Yeah. Then we need 3 envelopes. All right. Now again, these are pre-printed. They're all the same. So let's do the base first. All right. So fold these, score our flaps down. And it really does, this part comes together quick. So our first 2, this is going to be our front cover. All right. And then we'll have another cover for the back. We're going to take our flaps and just lay them inside each other. All right. And tap this all in so everything's lined up. Now you may think, oh, I'm going to glue this first. Nope. Leave this open. What we do want to glue is in here. So we're not going to use this flap for anything. So, but I do want it to be secured to this flap. So just take a little bit of glue right at the tippy top of right here, and we'll glue that down. All right. And we're actually going to add a layer over that. So we've got our base. Our card is going to tuck in this pocket. Now we're going to bring in our 3rd envelope, and this is going to make the back cover. All right. So Sean, those balmy blue gems look great with most of the greens and all of the blues. Oh, I'm sure it does. Yeah. And that's why I am definitely going to use those with some turtle action. All right. So we're going to flip our book closed. This part is going to slide in here. All right. And up until it hits the score line. And then again, tap, and you want everything square. All right. Now we put glue on here, and we're just going to flap that over, and that'll be the back. Now we are going to add ribbon and a card on the back. So don't worry that you can still see this flap. All right. And unfortunately, I am going to cover up most of the gold bits when I add these layers, but it can't be helped. All right. So that's the base of our book with 3 envelopes. So we've got 1 envelope. This pocket still works. Then we've got our side here, and then our back cover. Now, I'm not going to use this pocket for anything. I'm actually going to build 2 other pockets. But if you wanted to, actually, I'm just going to glue this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue right under here. Just glue it down again. All right. Now the card. I'm going to bring that card back in. You may need to trim this down. Yeah. So this is a snug fit just for the card. The more we add to this, so if we say we add a picture to all 3 sides, that's going to bulk this up and it's not going to want to squeeze in here. So we have to trim this card down a little bit. All right. And I'm going to go, I'm just going to trim it 4 by 6 and then I'll see. I may have to trim it more when I know what pictures or something I want to put in there, but that's just to give it a little bit of wiggle room. All right. So let's do 6 and I'm cutting it folded up. So it's going to go through both layers. All right. 4 by 6. And then that will tuck in here. All right. Now let's go the front cover. We're going to do that last because I want to use ribbon. Oh yeah. I'm pulling in, this is gold organdy that's what, 3 inches wide, I think. This is really old stuff. Yep, 3/8 inches. But I want to wrap this around and use this to close my little book. You could have a paper clip if you wanted to close it, or you could just leave it open, but I tend to like the ribbon. But we'll do that at the end. So this is going to be my front cover. Then as I open it, I wanted this right here. I intend to cover this up, okay? So I'm not worried that this is like has the words going the wrong way. If you want to layer this with cardstock, go ahead. I'm just putting it down on the envelope. So I don't mind that 1/4 inch border. But certainly more cardstock would make it maybe a little sturdier, but it's going to be sturdy enough. All right, so this is 4 by 6 itself, the card. So I'm going to have to keep in mind that whatever picture I want is going to have to be smaller. And I don't necessarily want to do like a whole 4 by 6 picture. I'm probably going to do like one smaller picture just to cover this up. And I'm just going to write on here, pick. So I know that's going to get covered up. Then if you wanted to doll up the front of this, go for it. It kind of coordinates with this layer. I think I had, you know what? I had this that I was going to put on here. Yep, and then this will still go in there. Okay, so I'm gluing this soft succulent layer on, and I don't want to put glue here though. All right, so just here and right there, and then let's go around here. And this part I'm just eyeballing because I still want this card like centered. And wiggle that around. I like it. Okay. So that way I can still put another picture here if I want. I can put a little tag for journaling. Our card is still going to slide in here. All right. And we turn our page. And then I wanted this side. So there's all seasons in here. There's flowers. There's going to be leaves. This is going to be another one. And then the back cover is going to be this layer. I like that. Yeah, that's what I intended. No, wait a minute. I wanted these because it's more flowery. Although now that I look at it, that could be snowflakes, couldn't it? Yeah, no, I wanted the green to show. Because again, I'm going to cover that up right in the middle. And I really don't usually use like these thick borders. But this is a quick way that we're going to make our little book. All right, now I'm gluing this down. So keep in mind, you're still going to see this pattern. All right. Just going to have to get over it. Oh man, I like that too. But I do like the wood grain better of that one. And again, I'm going to cover up those words. Oh, and you know what I just realized? I needed to add my flap before I put this card down. You guys, ugh. So I wanted to have a gray granite flap to add an extra bit that we could decorate. You know what? I'm going to see if I can dig in here just a little bit. And then I'm going to put more glue down on it. Okay, this will work. So I have a 4 1/4 by 6 piece of gray granite. I want to have a 1/4 inch flap. So let's score it at 4. So 4 1/4 by 6, score at 4. All right, then we're going to fold that down. And I picked gray granite because I felt like that was the color that was in here. Could have been smoky slate. I don't know. But it's a good generic. All right, now let's trim. So I'm going to come in here. This is anytime you want to add a flap to a book, you'll do this. You need a little, this is our hinge. All right. And I'm going to put glue on this side right here and then slide that in as far down as it goes. All right. It's as simple as that. So let's add this glue. Now, if you wanted to use tear and tape or score tape or sticky strip, you could do that. I'm actually going to turn it towards me. But using this glue is easy enough. And I'm just trying to have it centered this way. And I'm pushing it down as far as it'll go. And that is lined up right with our seam. So that is good. It does not impede any of the opening and closing. So we still see this. That's totally fine. But now we have an extra page, really, that we can do stuff with. All right, and then let's tuck our card back in. So you see we're getting more and more places to add pictures, to add journaling, doodads. We're going to have our picture here and here. Front cover, back cover. These are, it's a little bit darker, but it's all right. I also want to add some pockets. All right, so I want to put a pocket here and on the back. I have 2 pieces. Actually, let me get this. So I want to write this down for you. Let's do this scratch paper. So each panel, each envelope, this is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, right? And then these panels are 4 inches wide. So I want my pocket to be, I think I wanted it to be 4 1/4 because I wanted it to go a little bit past it. So we're going to have this kind of pocket where we're going to score on 3 sides and then we're going to trim and trim. So this part I want to be 4 1/4. Each side seam, whatever, I want to be 1/4 inch. All right. So this needs to be 4 3/4. And then I want it to be 2 inches tall. So it needs to be 2 plus 1/4. So 2 1/4 by 4 3/4. So that's how I decided how big to cut these pieces right here. So we're going to score at 1/4 inch on 3 sides. Hey, Julie. Ooh, we would love to see what you're making in your class. I'm always intrigued by card class. I bet that was fun. So we are just finishing up a little mini book. So see how quick that went? I just scored 3 sides at 1/4 inch. And this will be to make our pockets. Let me get this out of the way. Now I'm going to trim them before I fold. So see, I went right up to both those score lines. Actually, that second one is barely showing up. But so we'll just go right across. Boop. Boop. And then fold everything. And I'm just going to put glue on all 3 of these flaps. Again, if you want to use score tape, use score tape. If you want to use sticky strip, use sticky strip. If you want to use something else, let's get that out of the way. Oh yeah, speaking of sticky stuff, so I still have a couple of my sticky bags left, sticky situation bags. So go on my blog if you want, for this first batch of them. If you want one, the info is there, and let me know. I have a Google form, $39 plus whatever the postage takes to get it to you. It's a little clear plastic bag, and then it's got 7 different adhesives. I like it. It's a good deal. You're basically getting the tax and the shipping free, like as if you ordered it from Stampin' Up, and then the little bag's free. If you're local, you can just pick it up from me. All right, so here's our pockets, and I'm putting it, I just want like an even border here. So I like to put glue just on this bottom one first. And lay this down just so I get it where I want it. Press that. Then open it. Oh, whoopsie. Press it and make sure it stays. Let's hold this for another minute and then I'll talk. So yeah, sticky bag. Cactus Cuties, I've talked about that. Where did my... Here we go. Next week is Wednesday. Yep. Okay, let's see. That's going to stay this time. Awesome. Now I add glue to these sides and then push that up. I like this style of pocket because it's roomier. You can, because of these side pieces, you can fit more stuff in. And I don't know why, but that's just like the physics of it, that it's 2 layers on each side. So it's like twice as roomy than if you just took a piece and just glued it on 3 sides and laid it flat down. That would be tighter. And also you're not getting the full width of your pocket when you do that, because your adhesive is going to take up some of this spot, some of this space. So can we see that this pocket is like how it's poked out a little bit? It's just roomier. But I like that. So, and then we'll do our other one on the back. And I know you're not really going to get the full effect until I put pictures in this and show you how I finish it. But my point is, I just want to show you how to make this. All right. Really cool. If you have some of the older cards that were like Christmas, you could make a little Christmas book. All right, holding this, and we're going to glue that. So next I'm going to add ribbon around it and then glue my front and back covers on. All right, pressing this, and then we'll add our little... Now when you have the flaps for these, 1/4 inch is as low as I go to make this part, the side flaps, all these things. 3/8 inch gives you a little bit more room, but 1/4 inch is good. Sometimes you'll see people do a 1/2 inch. That just, you know, is easier to work with bigger pieces. But I tend to go 1/4 inch. That part is personal preference. All right, whatever you feel you can work with. All right, I need to hold this just another little bit. So I'm also digging the difference in here between the gold and the granite. I like that they're like different neutrals. Like, doesn't always have to be same. Okay, I like it. Now you can see some of our envelopes, as our little book is starting to get full, like the middle pages tend to poke out more. That's just the nature of having a book. Like the middle pages tend to, you know, they stick out further. I'm not going to chop that off. I'm just going to leave it. All right, ribbon. I'm going to hand measure. I always cut extra. I want, let's go about there. I'm eyeballing this. I like to secure my ribbon down first with some tape of some kind. So I'm going to use score tape or the Terran tape, really. I always say score tape, and that's not right. All right. So I want to measure half of this. And this is just so I know, like, where am I putting this? So scooch this down. I want it middle-ish. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this. All right, right across here. Now, I like to normally follow up with a little bit of this Fabri-Tac, just when I'm using ribbon. It's just a good adhesive for anything ribbony or fabric-y, all right? And it's got a smell to it. Let's just put this down. It's got like a solvent smell to it. So you just want to be careful, I guess, but I don't use a ton of it. Now, this is really wet and it's going to take a while to dry. So I'm going to glue my cover on right now. All right, just so I'm not caught up in waiting for all that to dry. Plus, then it's going to stick to this cover piece a little bit better. Again, if you wanted to layer this with cardstock, go for it. I am just putting this down flat. Oh, I like it. These are the days. All right, and then we're going to flip this over. And I'm doing the same thing on this side. Going to put a little bit of Terran tape. Press. And then a little bit of Fabri-Tac. And flip this over. Mush that with my finger a little bit. And then I want this side. Now, if you want to stamp on this before, then go, do that. I am not. So 3 envelopes, that's all you need. Same principle applies. You could make this out of our medium-size envelopes. It would just be smaller. All right, let's get this on there. And press. Yeah, I really have to go through some pictures and find some that would be appropriate. And, I don't worry about having all 4x6 pictures. I don't mind cutting stuff. As I've been using like small pictures anyway, like I may want to put a picture here, maybe cut a small picture and have here. Who knows? You could also take some designer paper if you want to add, like if you wanted to cover up these, add a layer to your pockets, you could do that. But I'm going to leave it until I'm ready to actually decorate. So we've got our pocket, page, flip out. So we've got 2 extra sides to decorate. We've got our pull out. Now, if you wanted to make a little journal out of this, you just add some paper and either staple it in or sew it in. Then we can put a picture here. Let's get this back. Flip it. Picture, or tuck in stuff. And then our other pocket. And then our back. Now, I'm going to add some kind of doll, like doodads, but to the front cover. Not until I put pictures in it. because I don't want to put butterflies on this if I'm not going to have anything butterfly, you know? I could do shells. I could do any of the seasons, really. And I think I may go back in here and get some more glue. But that's a neat little book, journal book. Add pictures, add whatever. So a couple other things. Oh, wait, we got to go back down here. So sandbox, I told you about that. Did I? No, I didn't. So Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, we have a sandbox idea, which is like suggestions, like product ideas. So I put in there today, it would be nice if we could have on the ordering, like on the online store, when things go out of stock, if we could click and say, please notify me that this is back in stock, because I barely noticed that some of the dies were back in stock today. And I don't know when that happened. They were due back in the week of the 27th, which is next week, but they came in early. And I'm like, I could have had immediate notice of that. So you guys can send that in too. Just email DS, it's demonstrator support, but other people can use it too. ds@stampinup.com. If you think that's something that you would benefit from. I personally would benefit because I don't like having to log in and check that every day. So that was my idea, send in a sandbox idea. And I'll put that in my blog post. So in case nobody, in case you don't quite remember this. All right, let me show you my one sheet wonder cards and then I'm finished. All right, let's do, and I'll bring back all the cards too that we made. So this one sheet wonder idea is you take a whole 8.5 by 11 sheet and you trim it down to 8 by 10.5. So you would cut it up and then you'd have 4 layers, 4 images for your card fronts. All right. And then I actually went down and trimmed mine a little bit more so I could add my borders. So you stamp, and I'll just use this as an example. You mark like your halfway points on both sides. So think of it like a grid, all right? I just marked on the sides. Then you kind of like stamp so it crosses over both lines and fills up, your card space some. And then you cut it up and you've got your card fronts. So this I used all in colors and the artistically inked stamp set. And these are all the in colors that are going to stay, right? So we've got, I did Starry Sky, right, for the backs, yep, and Sweet Sorbet, and then they all got a Parakeet Party layer. So, yeah, I just didn't have time to post these on my blog this week. But then the other ones were the turtles, where I didn't realize how big this turtle was. So I made these seashell cards, and I like them. So I've got some Bermuda Bay card bases and then Coastal Cabana card bases. And I used Crumb Cake, Granny Apple Green, Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana. And that was it. Those are the only colors. So I really like that. But see how this turtle, how big that is? Crazy. But I love this idea. And it's great. I mean, I made 8 cards in like 2 hours. So, and plus there was, talking and hanging out and all that. So let's look at, here's our book that we made. Here's our 2 cards that we made, adding, extra bits. Then I've got the cards. These were made, added a little bit of extra, the embossing and the layers. And then these 2 were just made with the cards. Popped them up, added some gems. So, oh, whoops, this is all at the tippy top of my screen. Ugh. I hope I wasn't off screen the whole night. So, yeah, Gail, these turtle cards, I really like how they turned out, for sure. But that turtle, much bigger than I expected. So, yeah, nice. Awesome. Okay, so next week, remember, I'll be here Wednesday, and I'll put out my event thing when I schedule on StreamYard. So, thanks for hanging out. Likes, hearts, shares, like all the things. And I will see you next week. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Gail, Sue. All right. Bye, you guys.